First ever round at Riviera, no problem, says Sam Saunders. For birdie on the 7th, already at 6 under par in his opening round. And why not make it lucky number 7? Sam Saunders with a 2-shot lead through 18 holes at the Genesis Open as Golf Central starts right now.
Golf Central. Brought to you by Titleist.
Well, the weather certainly cleared up, and the stars were out for the first round of the Genesis Open. Riviera Country Club, the host this week for 8 of the top 10 players in the world, and all eyes right now are on Sam Saunders after that 7 under 64 out of the gates. Brett Stegmeyer, though, 5 under through his first 9. A heck of a first round out of Sam Saunders, Frank.
Well, it is. You know, the run coming in of 7 straight players winning on the PGA Tour in their 20s. It's only been done twice. When you think about it, since 1970. Sam Saunders, I guess he read that memo. He's still only 29 years of age, but what a start. Riviera, we know it's a great course. No, we know his background, obviously, with his famous grandfather who sadly passed away last year. But this is the Sam Saunders we've been waiting for what, 7, 8 years now?
Yeah, it certainly is. And this is a player over the last couple years that's made over $500,000 on the PGA Tour, but has been unable to secure his playing privileges for the following year. So he's suffered from a little bit of inconsistency. He's missed more cuts the last 2 years than he's made, and in 6 of the 52 events he's played, those were his only events that he was able to shoot 4 rounds of par or better. So a little bit of an inconsistency plagues him. Let's see how he handles it from here on out.
Well, a heck of a start nonetheless. Let's take a peek at the early highlights from the first round of the Genesis Open. Here's Dustin Johnson. Started on the back 9, his 3rd to the 17th.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a fog delay here early on, so these guys went up a little late. Didn't take Dustin Johnson any chance, though, of getting this round deep into the red.
That would move him to 3 under par. Then his approach to the par 4 18th after a wallop to drive, Noda.
Yeah, one of the things that served DJ so well since he started hitting that little baby fade is he's able to take on holes like this and take advantage of that distance. Going at this hole location with a 9-iron, that is a huge advantage.
So Dustin Johnson moving right along after birdie on the 2nd from 30 feet on the 3rd.
Yeah, drove it in the rough, had 178 just to get it from to here. This is over 30 feet. Now, Dustin made 98 feet of putt today and a 1/3 of it on that very hole.
He would card a 5 under par 66. How about Phil Mickelson? He started on the back 9, his 2nd to the 17th.
Well, that was a huge swing from Phil. Obviously, the herniation he's recovered nicely, being able to take a huge crack at that, trying to reach the 17th and 2.
How about off the roof and then follows it up with this, Frank?
Amazing. His opening hole, the 10th hole, he flubbed a chip, just went for the lofted club again. What an eagle.
Gets him to 3 under par. You couldn't have played 17 and 18 any better than the 2-time champ of this event, Noda.
Oh, hole sets up really nicely for Phil. Likes to hit a left to right shot. That's a little draw for the lefty, and just plays that little slope on the green from left to right. Perfect.
He sticks it to 7 feet. He would cash in for birdie, so he made the turn 4 under par. Let's move ahead to the 8th, his 17th.
Phil missed 8 greens today, and well, you wonder why he didn't register too many bogeys, because he get phenomenal up and downs like that. Another great use of the lofted wedge. 64 degrees is good use around here.
And he wound up shooting 3 higher with a 67. Sam Saunders got it going, par 4 5th.
Man, did he ever get it going. This is with a mid-iron from 172 yards, trying to take dead aim. Greens were fairly receptive coming from the fairway. Beautiful shot.
So that would get him to 6 under par, and how about for an encore on the 7th?
Very, very smooth round of golf. You're going to get a bonus now and again, but he only missed 2 fairways. So he had a lot of looks today. Converted that one there nicely down the hill from just over 20 feet.
That ties his best career round on the PGA Tour. Justin Thomas, part of the afternoon action, par 4 3rd.
Yeah, got a little bold on his birdie putt, trying to clean up for par, and that one just never got started on line. Not a great stroke for JT.
3-putt bogey, Thomas, par 3 4th.
Yeah, famous par 3, Ben Hogan said it was the greatest par 3 he ever saw. I guess he liked them long and he liked them tough. Justin Thomas, it ain't that long, it ain't that tough when you got a bunker game like that.
Made it look easy. He would save par, remain at level par. Hideki Matsuyama, after missing the green, hits third out of the bunker.
Yeah, missed the fairway off the tee, struggled with the second out of the primary rough, came up short, but that's what you do when you're a top 10 ranked player in the world, is you make up for your mistakes.
So he would save par on the par 4 third. Jordan Spieth trying to do the same hole, par 4 third.
This Kikuyu grass is so sticky around here. This shot might look a little easier, but you can see that club just jag into the grass. So obviously that was sitting right up against the nap. Gets it to 5 feet. Wow, it's good enough for Jordan.
Yeah, give it to him. Why not? He remains at 1 under par. Jason Day, par 3 fourth.
Nice little straightforward pitch shot from the fairway in front of the green. Should present not too many problems for Jason Day, but just gets a little bit away from him and now has a very difficult uphill left to right putt. Got to give this enough speed or it'll break off on you, and it just holds its line.
Just slides by, so it'd fall back to even par. As we take a look at the leaderboard for the Genesis Open, Sam Saunders with the number to beat so far, 7 under par, 64. Let's hear from a couple other names you see on that first page, and Phil Mickelson and Dustin Johnson.
I think now with the way we've had it set up, we're going to have 72 holes. We might have to finish on Monday if that's the case, but I don't know if it's critical for your finishing high in the tournament, but it never hurts. It's just we have great conditions today. We really have great conditions to score well and play well. Course is in great shape, so it's important to take advantage of that because I think it'll get a little tougher this weekend.
You can't ever win a golf tournament on Thursday, but you can lose it. That's true. but you can't lose it. So I like this golf course. I for some reason I always play well here, but I think it just sets up well to my eye. I feel like I got a good feel of the golf course, and obviously got off to a good start.
Take a look at this. The most top 5 finishes without a win, a graphic Dustin Johnson would like to remove himself from after this week, but he's posted 5 of those. This is the most you've seen in the last 30 years. So, Noto, what makes Dustin Johnson such a comfortable fit at Riviera?
Well, I think primarily because he is able to take some of those dog legs off the tee. You have a little bit of left to right movement on some holes and some right to left movement. There's a variety of tee shots out there, which is why they call this a ball striker's golf course. But he's able to take on some of those dog legs. You saw at 18, Phil Mickelson had 183 yards in for his second shot. Dustin Johnson had 151. So that's a 3 to 4 club difference, and he's able to take advantage on a good number of those holes, which I think is what allows him to propel himself up the leaderboard on a consistent basis.
And remember, this week with a win, Dustin Johnson could possibly become number 1. We're going to get to the forecast in a little bit, but it could be softer going into the weekend. How will that impact things for Dustin Johnson? More of an advantage?
Could be. It will be, yeah. I mean, apparently it's going to be Armageddon over the next 24 hours. Obviously, it's going to, once again, as Noto was saying, it's going to suit the longer hitters. But you talk about a good ball striker's golf course. It's weird that the 2 greatest players of all time, Tiger Woods and Jack Nicklaus, they never won at Riviera. So it's even hard to say it's a great fit for some of these players. But now the distance the ball does go, I think you are right. The first is a gimme par 5 for those guys. 10 is perhaps drivable. You can miss that green on the left. It's a much easier proposition. 11's a give up for him, as well as 17. So if it does get soft, then yeah, Bubba Watson, Dustin Johnson again, and even Mickelson now, who looks like he's swinging fairly well, playing his 5th straight week. Certainly they start to come into the equation again.
And Ben Hogan's eyes would bulge out if he saw Dustin Johnson. What do you have, a wedge in 18? That's not how you're supposed to play that.
No, his second shot average was 166 yards. That was 20 yards less than Sam Saunders.
All right, well, let's take a look at what you alluded to as Armageddon is coming up with the forecast. The Friday weather report for Pacific Palisades, California. I feel bad for our man Todd Lewis. You're not supposed to get this type of weather. They're going to say possibly 3 to 4 inches of rain. You see the heavy winds, sustained gusts from 20 to 25 miles an hour. This for the afternoon. Todd had said earlier on Golf Central pregame it could be up to 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts. So a suspension of play, if you're a betting man, likely in the works. Well, we're just getting going tonight on Golf Central. Folks, there's still guys on the course. We're going to go show you live highlights from Jason Day and Jordan Spieth, plus a breakdown even further of Phil Mickelson's opening round. Stay with us.
Golf Central is brought to you by the new Titleist Pro V1 and Pro V1X, Choose the best for your game. Shipsticks, the largest golf bag shipping company in the world, simplifying the way you travel.